Good morning. Well, once again, the Australian market set to open weaker at the start of Friday's trading session. And a lot of that concern or weakness is going to be due to the announcements that come out from the White House over the last 12 hours. Now, they've come through and confirmed they are going to be placing tariffs on steel and aluminium. And these are against the tariffs from imports coming through from the European Union, from Mexico and from Canada. Now, all of these countries and nations have come through and said that they will be retaliating. We even had Mexico coming through and saying they would be creating duties that would be implemented in the next month. And we've had Canada coming through and saying that this is actually unlawful, and they are looking at retaliating with around $16.6 billion worth of tariffs of their own. So it is creating a fair bit of nervousness in the markets. Initially, markets sell off quite heavily. We did see them coming back a little bit, but by the end of trade, the Dow was still down by 252 points, but the Nasdaq only down by 20 points because we did see that Google was one of the bright lights, and also Facebook moving higher during the session. We did see the industrial stocks losing ground, and the real reason there is a lot of the industrial stocks that are listed in the US use steel and aluminium, which has been imported, whether it be in their finished products or part products that they sell into the market. So it is going to create a bit of uncertainty for some time. And we've already seen that it has actually risen the cost of steel in the US as well. So a lot of the steel makers in the US saw this as a negative sign, and their shares were under pressure. We did see that the banks were weaker, and that was mainly on the concern of what's happening with Deutsche Bank. Once again, Deutsche Bank being hit, their share price falling dramatically in the overnight European session. And then we had Deutsche Bank, the US business, being put on the federal list of problem banks. So that's a major concern for the entity itself, but also for a lot of its trading partners. So we saw the banking sector in the US, a lot of those large institutional banks coming under pressure. We did have Google and Facebook moving higher. So in the recent weeks, we've seen a lot of talk about what is the GDPR. And a lot of people would be saying, what is that? Well, it's new regulations that have come into effect in Europe about the ownership and on sale of personal data. And new regulations that have come into effect mean that now a lot of the analysts are suggesting that Google could be one of the companies to really reap the rewards of this change, because instead of being able to send out individual ad messages or emails to clients, now people will actually have to do more surfing on the web, especially on Google, to be able to find the goods that they are wanting to purchase. Now, if we have a look at the commodity markets, we did see that the gold and oil price continued to come under pressure. Gold down around $2.50 an ounce at the moment to $1,304 an ounce, and that oil price at 67.03 a US a barrel, down around 1.7%. Looking at the Australian market this morning, while we are set for about an 11-point slide at the start of our trading day, the Aussies held up okay. We haven't seen too much of a flight to safety going into the US dollar overnight, and we did also see that 10-year bond yield continued to fall down to 2.85% overnight, with the Aussie at the moment at 75.65 US cents.